By now, most of you have been working from home for a few weeks. How's it going? I've been working from home for over 20 years, and I must be honest, it took a number of years for me to really get to grips with it, to understand how to make the most of it. I think the early days of working from home can be very frustrating. You're being disrupted all the time by the family around you, especially if you're all locked down together. You can't quite get into the rhythm of the day. Maybe you've tried to get into your work clothes and shave and do your makeup and everything because you feel that that will get you going, and maybe it's not quite working for you. Maybe you've gone the opposite way and just stayed in your pajamas all day, and that's not working for you. Maybe your team hasn't quite got into it, even if you have, and you're struggling to make connections and to work out how to communicate and interact. Well, our team at Tomorrow Today, as I say, has been working from home for 20 years. In that time, we've had people work from us from over 20 different countries. We've had over 100 people in our team during that time, and we've never paid a cent in rent. And what can I tell you? We love it as well. And that really is my message, is that it's not something to be endured. It can, in fact, be enjoyed. And there are a few things that you need to do in order to make sure you enjoy working from home. The most important thing has got nothing to do with your setup. It's not a practical suggestion. It's got nothing to do with where you put your desk and what you wear and how you get the rhythm of your day going. All of those things are important. But the most important thing is a mindset shift. And that mindset shift has to come not just from you, but from your whole team as well. You see, the biggest problem is you've taken your work home. You might think, yeah, Graham, that's exactly what working from home is. I take my work home. No. You've misunderstood me. You have taken your work environment. You've tried to take what you had at the office and recreate it at home. In other words, I'll give you a few examples. You've tried to take your working hours home. So because you get in your car in the morning and you drive to the office, and then you arrive at the office at a certain time and you start working at 9, and then you work all the way through the day, and then you stop working at a certain time and you get in your car and you drive home again, you've tried to do that in your home office. You've tried to have a starting time, work a whole lot of hours in a row, and then have an ending time. It's not working for you, right? Of course it's not working for you, because that's not how home works. You can't just take your office hours and do them at home. What you've got to do is think, I had 8 hours of work to do. How do I do 8 hours of work at home? I had 5 days to do it, times 8 hours, whatever. I'm just using random numbers. You might have different numbers. So I've got 40 hours of work, but now I'm at home. I've got 24 hours in a day and 7 days in a week. How do I take those 40 hours and divvy them up? And now this is the second thing. You might think, well, I can't do that because my boss is breathing down my neck to make sure I've logged into the system and that I'm clocking hours and activity, and your boss never checks you log out, right? Only that you log in. This is a major problem. You can't manage and be managed in the same way you were managed at the office. The second most important thing you need to do to stop bringing your office home is to not think that you can micromanage your team or be micromanaged. You can't count hours, is what I'm saying. So if you had 40 hours or 50 hours or 32 hours or 60 hours, whatever the number was for you, throw those numbers away. That's not how you measure work from home productivity. You have to measure outputs. You have to measure deliverables. You have to agree with your boss, you have to agree with your team at the start of every week, not every day, at the start of every week, what needs to be delivered, when it needs to be delivered by, and then you have to back off, checking when they're working, how they're working. You have to just step into saying, where is my output? Where is that deliverable? Find a whole different way of managing productivity and efficiency and effectiveness. Genuinely, this is the biggest thing that you need to do if you're going to make a success of working from home. For some of you bosses, for some of you team leaders, for some of you people, this is the hardest thing you need to do because it's everything you're not. You are a control freak. You didn't think you were, but now you've discovered that you are. You are a micromanager. You didn't think you were, but you are. And you've got to get over it. And that for some people is the toughest thing to do. See, it's not about what you wear or whether you've got the technology to do a video call properly, or whether you've got enough data contract at home. Those things are important. It's about a mindset shift. You can't just bring the office home. You are now working from a home office, and that is a different thing. And the good thing is, it gives you a whole lot of advantages you didn't have before. It gives you more flexibility. There actually are, if you set it up properly, less disruptions at home. I promise you that. Not if you try and work 8 hours straight. Nobody has 8 hours straight at home. But if you chunk up your day, if you look at your deliverables and outputs and then say, how do I achieve that today? And then agree with your family and whoever you're locked down with about those chunked up times. If you plan disruptions, if you plan to have every meal with your family, if you plan to spend some time watching a movie with your kids during the afternoon, then you can work in the evening. You can get up early and do some work before anybody else does, if your boss doesn't expect you to check in at 9 o'clock, because then you're getting the homeschooling started with your kids. If you plan your day because you are at home, around your home, I promise you'll get your office work done better. So it's a mindset shift, and it's a mindset shift you have to make. A number of weeks ago, as lockdown began in South Africa, I put together an online course to help people think through working from home. Not by reading a Google article on what working from home looks like, but by telling you my 20 years of experience and what I've learned to make it work. Not just make it work, but to love it and to enjoy it. I hope this has been helpful. It's an extract from that course. If you would like more detail and would like some of the practical tips, you can find my course at workfromhomecorona.com. Yes, workfromhomecorona, all one word, workfromhomecorona.com. And yes, I am selling this course. Do you know why? Because all of the work that I used to do, which was to travel around to different clients and work in their offices, has gone away now, and I need to find a way to make some money and to feed my family as well. I hope that the pricing of the course is something that you can afford. It really is well below the normal pricing of my online courses, which start at $500 each. So I'm not trying to rip you off, but I am trying to give some value, and hopefully you can exchange that value for a little bit of support for me and my family. If you can't, if you desperately need the contents of my course and you can't afford it, honestly, send me a note. I'll give you a voucher. You can have it for free. But if you can afford it and it is something that will be useful for you, workfromhomecorona.com. There are a number of courses there that will be very helpful for you in making sure that you not only do your work from home, that you're not only successful in showing your boss that you can work from home, deliver everything that you need to deliver, be productive, but you know what? You can even enjoy it. Maybe you'll never go back to the office. I don't know. For me, that'd be a huge upside from you looking at my course, that you love working from home. I do. I hope you do too.